Page 154. This is the first one on the page. The do, whatever that thing is. I hardly speak English. All right, so you can fill in the blanks there. Here, they want you to harmonize on the melody. That's kind of fun. We're only going to use the tonic and dominant chords of the key, or the 1 and the 5/7 chord. I should say dominant 7th chord of the key. So we just need to figure out what key we're in, and we can figure out what chords we're going to use. Then we got to figure out when do we use which chord. Okay, piece of cake, right? First thing I want to do is do the melody. I want to hear the melody. Now, the first one is 3/4 time and 2 sharps. We're in the key of D major. Because D major has 2 sharps, an F sharp and a C sharp. So those are sharp. So that's the key. So we know the key. And here it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's the famous melody. It's really pretty too. The last 2 measures, they want you to do that. That's a stretch. Now, if you can't do that, go ahead and use thumb. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. You can use 1, 2 there. I just want to connect all the notes. You can lift up for the phrasing if you want. That's fine, but otherwise I want to connect the notes. Now let's figure out what the chords are. Well, in D major, the 1 chord is going to be the D chord. And the 5 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's here. And I want a 7th. And then I'm going to use the pattern we've been using here. So rather than here, start here, the bottom note goes down a half a step, and I'm using the top 2 notes in the hand position. And that gives me my 5/7 in the position we need. Those are the chords I'm going to use. Now I got to figure out when to use what. And the idea is if the melody is mostly using notes in the chord, you use the chord. If it's using other notes, you might need to use the other chord. So experiment. Start out with 1. Most pieces will start with a 1 chord. They don't have to, but let's just start with 1. Here. Sounds okay? I'm going to play 1 chord per measure, and then here. That doesn't sound good. So I'm going to go here. Because remember, in a 5/7 chord, here. An A is the bottom note of the 5th chord. So there is an A in that. So, and then back here, still looking good because I don't want to use 1 chord. Here, I'm playing an E, and that's not in the chord. So I'm here. Whoops, that doesn't work. So now I got to go back to 1 chord. And that's basically what I'm doing. It's just which sounds better. So it's here. I'm ending on a 1 chord. Yeah. So that's sort of the chords. Now they want the pattern. They give you a pattern for the left hand. Here they want this pattern, broken chord. So okay, so you play the pattern. And this Vivace, which is fast. This is a fun piece. Needs to be accurate. And you can do the dynamics and all that stuff. Not in so much as trying to perform it here as get you to understand this harmony and how to figure it out. Now they want you to transpose this to E major. Well, E major is here, and E major has 4 sharps. Here, an F sharp, a C sharp, a G sharp, and a D sharp. I can't forget them all. There, 4 sharps. So the 1 chord is the E chord, and the 5 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 5 chord, stay within the key of E major. Remember a D sharp, and they're in the key, and then add the 7th. That's the 5/7. Now we use the arrangement we've been using. Put that on top and get rid of that one. Or you can go here. Remember, the bottom note goes down a half a step, and I'm using the top 2 notes in the position. So those are the chords in E major. then I'm playing the same finger numbers in the right hand. So I'm here, because I was D major, I was here, sort of. So E major goes up one. I'm going to be here. So it's here. Here. So you're figuring this out, and you take your time with this melody. Figure that out. The last two measures. Yeah, okay. So you figure out the melody and the notes. And another way of doing this, if you're getting confused on finger numbers, because I don't suggest you go in and write in the finger numbers of all the notes. It's better to learn to try and figure this out reading the notes themselves. You can, since we went from D major to E major, we went up a step. Just went up one step. So in the music, you're just going up to the next note up. So if a note is on a space, it would be the line above it. So instead of a G or an F, it would be a G. And so you can read the music and just in your head transpose it up one note as you're reading it. And that all you got to do then is just play the notes in the key of E major. So if it's a black key in E major, you play a black key. Otherwise, you play a white key. So here, instead of F sharp, you're going to a G sharp, because the G is right above it. And you just play a G, 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 F, B, F. I'm just taking each note up one full step, one step in the music, one note. I do a lot of transposing this way. And then here, you're just taking it up one step in the music and playing it that way. And then the chords, I'm just playing these chords. Whatever. Let me know if you have questions.